Hello everyone. So today is a rainy, cold, gross day outside. Hopefully it looks nicer where you guys are. But today I figured I would try some new salad dressing recipes. I usually buy bottled salad dressing and I've been getting into making them. So I'm going to try 5 new salad dressing recipes because I like to eat a lot of salad in the summer, so today's the day. So just give you guys a look, I've got everything set up here. I'm going to be making them in these containers here. I already labeled them with the recipes we're going to make, and then I pulled out all of the ingredients that I need for all of these recipes. Okay, so I found 5 recipes that I thought sounded delicious. One of my favorite salad dressings is creamy cucumber. It's one of my favorites, but I've been eating that since I was a kid. But I wanted to try some newer ones. I've been trying some new marinades and a couple new salad dressings. I did try a balsamic one that I really liked. That was really good. So that's what inspired me to try making some homemade salad dressings. And I'm going to store them in these containers, put them in my fridge, and then I'm going to try them throughout the summer here. Probably less than the summer, probably the next month or so. And so yeah, so we're gonna make sesame ginger dressing, a classic creamy Italian, apple cider vinegar vinaigrette, a Fuji apple salad dressing, and a honey Dijon vinaigrette. So let's start with the sesame ginger, and then we're going to start with the 2 biggest ones. So sesame ginger and creamy Italian, but we're going to do them one at a time here. And then I'm going to taste test them each one as we're making them. Okay, so let's do sesame ginger first. I'm hoping these are big enough because I just want enough to try them. If I don't like them, I don't want to waste a lot of ingredients. Okay, so this one we need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. So I'm just going to pour it right into here. Hopefully it's big enough. I think they will be. Because I'm looking at the measurements on a lot of these and they look fairly little. Like tablespoons rather than cups. Don't want to get soy sauce everywhere. Let me get a cloth. Okay. This one calls for half a cup of vegetable oil, but I don't use vegetable oil, so I'm going to use olive oil. Half a cup of oil seems like a lot to me, but we're going to make it exactly how it is so I can taste it. So this is a 1/4 cup, so I need 2 of these. So I am only one-timesing these recipes, just because I want to taste them, make sure I like them first. And then once I find a few that I really like, I'll make a lot of it. I eat a lot of salad in the summertime. When it's really hot outside, I don't like to have really heavy meals all the time. Sometimes I just like to have salad with some chicken on it. Okay, 3 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. I use this all the time. So I bought a new one because I knew this isn't enough in here. I actually just made this for lunch. I made peanut sauce to dip my gyozas in. 3 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. That didn't take much. 1, 2, 3. 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. I love sesame oil. It gives such a really nice flavor to things. And then 1 tablespoon of lime juice. I do not have any fresh limes or lemons for this. I probably should have got some, but I didn't. So we're going to use lime juice here. Fresh lime juice. And then a clove of garlic. So I'm going to use some of my garlic paste here. I had considered using some of my frozen pucks, but I want to be able to taste it right away, and those take a bit to melt. So I usually use those with cooking. So about 1 clove of garlic, it says. What else? 3 tablespoons of honey. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that needs going. Yes, we need some ginger, so we're going to do ginger too. 1 tablespoon of ginger. That looks about right. I have ginger and garlic in paste because I use them constantly. So instead of buying fresh, I just buy the jars of paste. It's more convenient for me. I need some water. Just 1 sec. Okay. So it says 2 tablespoons of water. I want to do all this before I put the honey in because the honey is a little bit difficult to get off the measuring spoon. It says 1 teaspoon of sriracha. So I literally just ran out of sriracha like last week and I haven't bought any yet. So I'm going to use Korean hot sauce instead. So it says about 1 teaspoon. So about there. This stuff is delicious, by the way. And honey. So let's put the honey in. It says 3 tablespoons. I think this is going to balance the flavors really nicely. I was hoping the sun would have came out today, but nope. Rainy day, which is good. Here in BC and in Alberta, we're actually having a lot of wildfires again this year, so the rain is good. Okay, so that's all that's in this one. So now the part that I'm a little concerned about how I'm going to mix this properly. So I was thinking about just putting the lid on it and shaking it, but I have a feeling it's going to leak. Let me see here. I think I'm going to stick this in a jar, shake it, and then just pour it back into the container here. So just give me 1 second, I'll get a jar. A little funnel. And I do have one left. Okay. Honey all over the spoon. I was thinking about making these in jars, but I wanted it to not take up so much room in my fridge. And jars would take up a lot of room in my fridge. So that's why I chose these little containers that I can stack. Okay. So we're going to give this a taste right away. Oh, I forgot the sesame seeds. They're optional, it says. It says about 1 teaspoon of sesame seeds. Let's get another one. This is the sesame ginger dressing, if I didn't say. I'm pretty sure I said, but if I didn't, we're making sesame ginger dressing. I am really used to using vinaigrettes for chicken and stuff like that when I grill it. I like making using vinaigrette to baste chicken and stuff. It's really good. Okay, so let's get a spoon and taste this. See if it needs anything before we pour it back into the container. I was blowing on it like it was hot. Oh. I wasn't expecting that. That's really good. That's delicious. That reminds me of I know there's no balsamic in this, but it has a very balsamic-y taste to it. This reminds me of a salad dressing I got from HelloFresh one day. That's really delicious. Let me just shake it a little bit more. I think this one's going to be a winner. Especially on like Asian noodle salad or something, that would be really good. So yeah, that one's a winner. Sesame ginger dressing. I already labeled my lids. More convenient. There we go. Here's the first one. Okay, so just let me rinse out some of my measuring spoons in the jar, and we'll reuse that for the next one. Now that I got everything wiped and rinsed out, let's move on to the other longer one that has a lot of ingredients in it, and that is the classic creamy Italian salad dressing. So I'm going to make it in the jar this time. I think that'd be easier. Okay, so this one calls for white wine vinegar, but I was looking online and you can substitute rice wine vinegar. So that's what we're going to do. So we need about 1/4 cup of that. Okay. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. I have this really good organic lemon juice. I love this stuff. I use this for canning all the time. Okay, 2 tablespoons. Okay. 1/3 cup of olive oil. Let me see here. Oh, that's 1/4. Okay. I just need a tiny bit more because this is 1/4 cup. There we go. And about 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. So I prefer Miracle Whip, but if you like Hellmann's or any other kind of mayonnaise, that's perfectly fine. 1/2 cup. Okay. Good thing I put the oil in first, it came right out. And then 2 cloves of garlic. 1, 2. Okay. Let's see here, what else? We have a whole bunch of seasonings that we need to put into this. So I tried to keep one of these dry. It was this one. So we need 1/2 teaspoon of basil, of dried basil it says. Hear my kitty in the background. 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. Half a teaspoon of thyme. Half a teaspoon of parsley. And I think that's it for the dried ingredients. Yes, salt and pepper. So I'm going to add that now since we're using the dried ones here. This is to taste, so I'm just going to do a little bit of both. I did about 1/4 teaspoon of each. Should be enough, but we'll see. We'll give it a taste. And then we need 2 teaspoons of honey. So for this one, I'm going to just eyeball this. Two. And then we need to put some Parmesan cheese in there. So I have some pre-grated stuff that I bought. I like the pre-grated stuff. It says about 1/4 cup. About that. And then we just shake it and we taste it. Let me make sure I got everything in there. It says you can add a couple tablespoons of water to it if it's too thick. So let's shake it first and find out. Doesn't seem too thick. I think this one would probably taste even better once those seasonings really marinate into it. So let's give it a little taste. Let's give it a taste. I was almost blew on it again. Let's have it. Ooh, that's tangy. I think I'm going to add a little bit more honey to that. That's really tangy. Hold on. Give it a little squirt. I do like tangy salad dressings. It's a little tangy though. The flavors are good though. Okay, let's try it one more time. That's better. I added about an extra teaspoon in there. It was way better. That one's really delicious, actually. I think I'm gonna love that one. Okay, so I'm just gonna pour it into the container here. Ooh. Perfect. I was a little worried. Hold on, wait until I put my lid on. Might squeeze out. Yep, it's going to squeeze out a little bit. Just take a few spoonfuls out. We're actually having some salad for dinner tonight, so I'm really excited about trying a few of these. This one's delicious. So far, this one's my favorite. I really do like the sesame ginger one too, though. Okay, so let's make, see, this is why I did it. I wanted to be able to stack them in the fridge. Let's make apple cider vinaigrette. I'm going to rinse out a few of these things, and then we'll get to making that one. Okay, so this one only has four ingredients other than salt and pepper. So let's start with the apple cider vinegar. We need 1/3 cup. I buy apple cider vinegar by the jug. That's how often I use it. There we go. Put that jug out of the way. And then we need about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I'm gonna eyeball this, I think. There. Dijon mustard, about a tablespoon of honey. I have a feeling this is gonna be really, really potent, but we'll see. About a tablespoon. And 1/3 cup of olive oil. I can't wait to use some of these. And some salt and pepper. Let's get those. I'm probably going to do about 1/4 teaspoon each, like I did in the last one. Hopefully that's not too much. So that's all this one has. Not very many ingredients. Give it a shake. I'm happy I did this in a jar. Okay, let's give it a taste. jar's still wet. Washed my spoons. It smells very potent. Let's taste. It's not bad. It's not bad. I think it needs more pepper though. Let's put a little bit more pepper and I think maybe a dash more honey to it. It's not bad. It's pretty good actually. This is the one I was thinking I might not like. Just because the base of it is olive oil and apple cider vinegar, and apple cider vinegar can be quite potent. Give it a little mix. That's better. Oh, that's good now. That's way better. I keep putting the lid back on. Okay, let's pour that. That one's really good. Perfect amount. Apple cider. Okay, what's the next one we're gonna make? This one I'm super excited about. I really want to taste this one. This one is a Fuji apple salad dressing. It takes white balsamic vinegar, but I don't have any of that, but it says you can substitute rice wine vinegar, so that's what we're gonna do. So let me rinse this out and we will start on that one. Okay, so when I was looking this recipe up, there was many different recipes for this. Some of them called for apple juice and some of them called for apple sauce. This one that I have here is apple juice, but I'm gonna substitute the apple juice for applesauce. Okay, so let's start with half a cup of olive oil. Nope, just got that down the side. Okay, and then we need 1/4 cup of white balsamic vinegar. But like I was saying, substitute, you can use rice wine vinegar. So we need 1/4 cup, pardon me. I didn't even know there was white balsamic vinegar until I read this recipe and I was like, oh, okay then. 2 tablespoons of honey. See if I can eyeball this nicely. 1, 2, we can always adjust it later if we need to. About 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Seems like a lot. 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Right here. Half a teaspoon of onion powder. 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger. You could probably use fresh for this too if you wanted, but I want to follow the recipe just the way it says. And it says 2 tablespoons of apple juice. So we're going to use my homemade applesauce here. This is the one I canned last year. And it says about 2 tablespoons. So we'll see, we might need to adjust it a bit. Oh, I was like, where is the lid? I need to find another resealable one, so we'll just put this over here on the side. And that's it. So let's mix that up. It's got a nice color. Okay, let's give it a taste. Smells good. That's an interesting flavor. I think I need to taste that again. I don't even know what to think of that. It's not what I was expecting. It's really good. I don't taste very much apple in there though. So I think I'm going to add another tablespoon. Tastes really good though. Tastes similar to the apple cider vinaigrette, but without the extreme tang to it. Tastes very similar actually. Okay, let's give that another taste. There we go. There we go. Taste more apple now. That's delicious. Okay, let's pour that into a thing. This would be delicious on like coleslaw or something. I like putting apple in coleslaw. Okay. Last one is honey Dijon vinaigrette. So let me do the rinsing again, and then we'll get to making the vinaigrette. Okay, so for the honey Dijon vinaigrette, let's do 1/3 cup of olive oil. It's a good thing I had this big Costco size one. A little bit more. Okay, 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Hopefully I can pour this nicely. One, 2, 3. 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Let's try and eyeball it. Up there. And we need 3 tablespoons of honey. One, 2, 3. Some salt. It says about 1/4 teaspoon of salt and about a whole teaspoon of black pepper. Yep, 1/4 teaspoon. This is a half, so we need a whole one of these. There we go. And that is all that's in this one. So let's mix that up. These are the ones that had very little ingredients in them. I have a feeling this one's going to be very sweet. We'll see. It's got a lot of pepper in it. Look at on the bottle. It's a lot of pepper. Okay. We'll see. Maybe it might need more Dijon. We'll see. It's really good. I mostly taste apple cider vinegar and honey, so I think I'm going to add a little bit more Dijon. The pepper's perfect, actually. I thought it was going to be really overpowering, but it's not. Give it a little bit more mustard. It's better. This tastes a lot like the apple cider vinaigrette. Let me look at the recipe here and see how close the recipes are, because it actually tastes very, very similar. That is because it has the exact same ingredients, just a little bit different proportions. That's why it tastes so similar. That makes sense. So I think if you wanted a little bit more mustardy, to give it a little bit of a difference, I would put more mustard in it. But it tastes very, very similar to the apple cider vinaigrette. Just different proportions of the ingredients. There we go. Okay, so now that we're done making them, I have some thoughts. The sesame ginger dressing is really delicious. I think it would be really good on an Asian noodle salad. That would be perfect application for that. The honey Dijon and the apple cider I think are so similar. They have the exact same ingredients, just different proportions. I didn't notice that before we started this. I would say they taste so similar. Like, it was almost hard to tell the difference, even though there's more Dijon in one and more apple cider in the other, but I would go with one or the other. So that's my thoughts on those two. I think my two favorites are the creamy Italian and the Fuji apple. Once we added more applesauce to the Fuji apple, it was delicious. So guys, I hope you try some of these recipes, and I'll see you next time. Bye.